Robertson, and today I'm doing my speech on the effects of abortion and why you should not have an abortion and why you should not agree with abortion. Abortion is whenever someone's pregnant and they basically kill the baby, and I think that this is wrong because it doesn't matter if the baby is 2 weeks old, 8 weeks old, 20 weeks old. It's still living and breathing like inside of someone. So you should not have an abortion because not only is it harming the child's life, it can also harm the woman's life because these things can have effects such as sepsis. The physical risks are sepsis, damage to internal organs, an incomplete abortion. It can cause damage to the cervix. You can have infection, heavy bleeding, and sometimes, I guess, if the doctor doesn't know what they're doing, it can also result in death. But it also can result in psychological effects such as eating disorders and depression. Depression can come from after the mother does it. They'll feel guilty about it, so they'll just become very depressed, or they'll think that they shouldn't have done it. And it can also lead to suicidal dysfunction and alcohol and drug abuse, and flashbacks of the abortion can occur, especially if they're feeling more guilty about it than anything. And the only time that I would say that maybe it would be acceptable is if you got raped and that it's just too painful if it's too painful to you, that if you carry on full term and have the baby, that maybe you'll think about the situation every time that you look at the baby. But in my opinion, it's still very wrong, and abortion is still not okay, even in that case. Also, there are so many other options other than abortion. For example, if you do carry on your full-term pregnancy, there's always the option of adoption, because if you just don't want to have the baby to yourself, like if you're not financially or mentally prepared for that, then you can always put the child up for adoption, because there are so many people who are not able to get pregnant or not able to have a child, and they would love to have your child instead of you just aborting it. And also, I feel like that if you are going to put yourself in the position to have sexual intercourse, you should know that it can lead to getting pregnant. And if you're big enough to do that, then you should be big enough to think about the consequences of having a child. And you always can get birth control, because in most places at the health department, if you need help, then they'll give you birth control, or you could use condoms, and there's just all these options. So I just really feel like abortion should not be the first option that you have to turn to, because like I said, that's literally taking somebody else's life, and you have to think about not only yourself, but you need to think about that other life. And if abortion got cut back, there would be so many more lives in the world, and it would just be a better place, because abortion's not safe for anybody. It's not safe for the woman, it's not safe for the child. And I just really feel like that no one should turn to abortion as a way out. This is my audience.